Good evening. Welcome to the special meeting of the Albion City Council, Monday, March 12th, 2018. If you have an electronic device or phone, if you please place it on silent. I call this meeting to order and ask Clerk Domingo to call the roll.
Councilmember Barnes.
Here.
Reed. Here. Brown.
Here.
Lawler.
Here.
Spicer.
Here.
French.
Here.
And Mayor Brown.
Here. Citizens' comments. Persons addressing the City Council, we ask that you limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes and observe proper decorum. And this is for agenda items only. Please state your name and address. Are there any citizens' comments this evening, or public comments? Excuse me. Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to items for individual discussion. A, approval or acceptance of resignation of City Manager Cheryl Mitchell. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Support.
Moved and seconded. Dr. Mitchell.
Mayor and Council, I shared with you on Friday my letter of resignation, and I don't know if you want me to read it or.
Yeah.
Okay. Mayor and Council, it has been my privilege to serve the citizens of the City of Albion as City Manager since 2014. That day's announcement by Governor Snyder about the participation in the Project Rising Tide further demonstrates that the city has accomplished many good things for our residents, and there are many completed or in progress projects and improvements that will serve the community for decades into the future. I'm extremely proud and honored to have had a leadership role in our Team Albion spirit of cooperation, partnerships between our city staff, management, community partners, and elected leaders. It is now time for me to move on in my journey, and as such, I am providing this letter as my notice of resignation as City Manager, effective March 31st, 2018. It is my commitment to work with you and your entire management team to plan for a smooth transition of projects, initiatives, and responsibilities prior to my departure. Knowing this decision will impact the organization, I earnestly encourage you to rely on the members of the management team to help lead the way forward. Each member of the team is a true professional, subject expert, and leader in the organization and community. I wish you and the city much success into the future. Kind regards, Cheryl Mitchell.
Thank you. I want to thank Dr. Mitchell for her contributions to Albion. I would say what I said when the city appointed her 4 years ago, that her blend of intellect and drive are appreciated, and I think that Albion's going to be better off for the projects and work that you've done with us here. And I wish you the best. And if council members would like to have anything to say, this would be the time. Councilmember Lawler.
Dr. Mitchell, I just want to share with you that the things that you have brought to my eyesight and the large vocabulary that you have that I have to Google sometimes will forever be with me, and I thank you for helping me grow in this area that I'm definitely unfamiliar with, but I just want to say we care about you, and we care about the endeavors that you're getting ready to encounter, and I wish you very much success.
Councilmember French.
Thank you. I accept this letter of resignation with a very heavy heart. It's been my pleasure to serve the community of Albion for the last 15 years in various capacities, the last 7.5 or so as a city council member. And in that time, I've made a lot of mistakes. And the one that I want to highlight is, in fact, the fact that I did not vote for you when we appointed you. I have never been more pleased to admit that I was wrong. And these last 3.5 years have been perhaps the most challenging but the most wonderful 3.5 years of my life in service. It has been a pleasure getting to know you, to work with you on projects about which you are passionate, and I have learned a great deal from you and hope to be able to continue to learn a great deal from you, even as you move on to a a different community to serve them with your outstanding leadership. And so thank you for that. Your professionalism and hard work and diligence, probably to the detriment of your own health, is noted. And I want to thank you for bringing the team together and working so effectively with your leadership team to accomplish a great many things. I am proud to call you friend, and I will miss you terribly. Thank you.
Councilmember Reed.
I agree with Dr. French. In fact, when he didn't vote for you, many, many times he and I have talked about that, because every time I would say, you didn't vote for her, and he said, and I am so sorry that I didn't. But just want you to know, I sincerely appreciate you. I hurt because you're leaving, because you did so much for us since you were here. I work a lot with other groups in the city, at the park and around, the water department group, the park that works from the street, and they all talk about how much they appreciate you because you brought a new standard to them and to all of us. In fact, they felt so much better because they felt as though they were being appreciated now instead of just being employed by the city. I want you to know that you have done a fantastic job. I've lived in Albion since I was 2 years old, which I can't, I'm not going to tell nobody how long that's been. But I tell you, I have never seen an administration, and especially when I was in different organizations that had to deal with the administrations at the city, that have been as open and as kind and as helpful as you have. So know that you will be missed.
Councilmember Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. So Dr. Mitchell and I actually began to know each other prior to my being seated on council. And we developed a friendship. And once I was seated on council, I learned quickly what I had already kind of known from the past. Professional relationships can sometimes strain personal relationships. And we've gone through a strain. However, I sincerely wish you the best. You're brilliant, you're talented, and this is a loss for Albion. But I know wherever you go, you'll be successful, and you'll bring great character to that community. So, good luck.
Thank you. Councilmember Spicer.
Thank you, Mayor. Dr. Mitchell, this is heavy because I'm really a big baby, a crybaby at that. So I don't want to get too emotional here. Excuse me. I just want to say from day one, being elected to council, I appreciate that you reached out to me and wanted to make a connection and develop a working relationship as well as a personal one. I thank you for that, your guidance and commitment to the city of Albion has been outstanding, and one I'm sure that will not be easily replicated. I just want to thank you for what you've done for the city of Albion. You've given of your time during work and after work, and I just want you to know I appreciate it, and I thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you. Are there any further comments? Okay. I'd ask for...
Mayor and Council, yes. Before you all vote, I did want to have one request. If you recall in my contract, it is stipulated that I provide you with 4 weeks notice, and I have effectively given you 3 weeks notice. You do have the opportunity to accept that without penalty, I guess you would say. So I am asking that be a consideration.
Okay. Entertain a motion, or excuse me, an amendment. Councilmember French.
I would add to the motion of acceptance of resignation of our city manager to grant that request. That she give us 3 weeks' notice, and that her final day will be officially the 29th of March.
Support.
Well, actually, the 31st.
31st of March
It's
is
a Saturday.
Saturday.
I'll be here.
Oh, you'll be here? Okay. The 31st of March.
Okay. Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Opposed? Okay. We will now vote on the main moment with the amendment to modify that language of the contract. Roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Barnes.
Yes.
Reed.
Yes.
Brown.
Yes.
Lawler.
Yes.
Spicer.
Yes.
French.
With great sadness, yes.
And Mayor Brown.
Yes. Item B, I'm going to, given the circumstances right now, I think we should postpone that. And so, and also, Councilmember French.
We need to discuss transition, so I would
Yeah, that was my next.
I would make a motion that we table the goal-setting session and replace it with a discussion of transitional leadership for the city following the leaving of our city manager.
The one thing, so I don't think we can modify the agenda at a special meeting to add anything. So what I was going to ask the council, I was going to call a special meeting tomorrow to start that discussion. And so
Tomorrow is not good for me.
okay. Councilman Brown.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm just asking for a friendly amendment to the motion that Dr. French made as far as tabling. I'm asking that we amend that to postpone the goal setting for a definite date of April 9th, which is a Monday.
We have a count.
It's in between council meetings, our
Okay.
regular meeting.
Okay. I'll support that.
Okay. Just to postpone this until April, said 9th?
9th.
Okay. Yeah, for goal setting.
I would second that.
Okay.
Thank you, Councilwoman Brown.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Okay. We're going to go through citizens' comments, and I'll contact council about scheduling the special meeting to begin that discussion this week. Okay, so the council has unanimously accepted the resignation. Councilmember French.
I just have a question.
Yes.
As we think about our goal-setting session on the 9th, as we think about transition, do we want to have the goals established as part of our job description, or do we want to include the new person? I just want clarification of for whom the goals speak.
I think we probably can discuss that at the next special meeting I'm going to call. So we've approved, accepted the resignation, and we have postponed our goal-setting session until April 9th. Are there any public comments this evening in general? If there are, we ask you observe the 3-minute limit and proper decorum, and please state your name and address. Is there any public comment this evening? Okay. Seeing none, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved and supported. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Opposed? Thank you. This meeting is adjourned.
I know. He's going to be very upset.
I asked that question.